Hey there everyone, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. So, we're going to be talking about Marvel's Blood Hunt, the vampire event, the comic book issue, which is due to be released in May of 2024, which sees Marvel's Avengers taking on a vampire uprising. Looks really interesting, super exciting. I can't wait to get my hands on the first issue, which I say comes out in May of 2024. Guys, I feel like we don't talk about enough comic book material on the channel, so I want to start diving into more comic book news. And if you are new around here, consider hitting that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all the comic book news we have going on the channel. But without further ado, we're going to jump into this article from comicbookmovie.com. So Marvel Comics releases their first look at Blood Hunt, the vampire event, and asks who will bite it. I kind of like that tagline. It's kind of cool. So get your first taste of Jed MacKay and Pepe Larraz. Blood Hunt with the reveal of issue 1 cover along with never before seen interior artwork from an event series billed as Marvel's bloodiest yet. Yeah, I saw this and it really piqued my interest. I gotta be honest, I haven't collected any comics for a while now, but this definitely caught my attention. And you know, like Marvel's Avengers taking on a vampire uprising, as I say, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be gory, it looks to be action-packed, and just seeing, you know, the Avengers going face-to-face with a vampire uprising and a mystery big bad kind of pulling the strings behind the scenes, it looks really interesting, and I can't wait to see where they go with it. But let's jump in and read a bit more and see what we can learn about this Blood Hunt comic book. So, announced in October, New York Comic Con, Marvel's next crossover event, Blood Hunt, launches in May, written by current Avengers and Moon Knight scribe Jed MacKay, and illustrated by superstar X-Men artist Pepe Larraz. I think that's how you say his name, so I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. But for the purpose of this video, Pepe Larraz is how I'm going to pronounce it. The monumental story begs the question, who will bite it, as vampires emerge from the shadows like never before. Whether one of the Avenger characters gets bitten by a vampire and ends up turning into a vampire, and then the rest of the Avengers have to then fight against, you know, other members of the Avengers who have turned into vampires, that would be a really unique, cool twist in the story. I'd love to see that. That would be super cool. Across the main limited series, tie-in issues and spin-off limited series, we'll get to experience our favorite heroes falling helpless to the dark ways of the creatures of the night, all while bravely overcoming their tempting ways. United with a single vision for the first time in a millennia, the overwhelming army of blood-sucking terrors will transform the world into an image by turning the lights off across the Marvel Universe. However, in order to turn them back on, a new world order may need to be put in place. Today we have our first look at the cover of Blood Hunt issue number 1, featuring a glimpse at the Avengers opening battle with the Vampires Nation's forces. So we have some quotes here from, you know, some of the people that worked on the comic books. So, quote, "I think vampires are a very fun part of the Marvel Universe," MacKay says in a newly released interview. "You can enjoy them on a surface level as adding a little spookiness to a book, or you can get as deep as you like into the long-running Marvel history of vampires, which is as elaborate as any other part of it, and the fact that Dracula is there is a source of endless delight." Yeah, I mean, seeing like potentially having Iron Man and Captain America, or, you know, having Scarlet Witch facing off against Dracula, I mean, that sounds super cool. I would love to see that in live action in the MCU. That would just be absolutely insane. Dracula, you know, Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, just kind of fighting against each other with Dracula. I mean, that would just be really cool. So Blood Hunt is just the latest chapter in the long-running vampire mythos of Marvel vampires, and they're stepping out of the darkness in a big way. So in recent years, we've seen Marvel Studios confirm the presence of vampires in the MCU. It's unlikely we'll get to meet Dracula and his ilk until Blade is released, if it's released. Yeah, there's been so many issues with the Blade movie. You know, that apparently Mahershala Ali, who was playing Blade in the MCU, he was talking about walking away from the project at one point because there were so many delays and reshoots and things going on behind the scenes. But he's come out with recent comments in, you know, recent times, and he said that, you know, the project is going along the way that he likes, and they seem to be moving forward with it. So fingers crossed that Blade gets released at some point. But this event could offer an idea of what an eventual live-action invasion will look like. Yeah, I mean, when the Blade movie comes out with Mahershala Ali, as I say, they could potentially set up a Blood Hunt in the actual MCU, which would be super fun, having the Avengers in live-action facing off against an army of vampires. That would just be wicked. I would love to see it. I don't know what you guys feel about that, but I think that would be really fun. Something unique and fresh that we haven't seen in the MCU. And I think a lot of people will be down for that, like a gothic horror, a really dark and gritty kind of, you know, take on the Blood Hunt comic book that we've got here. So let's take a closer look at Blood Hunt issue number 1 cover, along with some of the never before seen preview art below. So guys, let's have a look at this artwork and see what we can get from the Blood Hunt comic book, because this looks really cool. So obviously here we've got the Avenger characters. We've got Captain America, we've got Captain Marvel, we've got T'Challa in there. Blade, obviously. Blade is obviously taking, he's at the forefront here. Blade is a big image because he's probably going to be the main, he's probably going to be one of the main characters. Obviously, we've got Iron Man, Spider-Man, we've got Vision, Doctor Strange, Thor. I'm not sure who that is. Is that War Machine? No, I'm not sure who that is there. Guys, correct me. I'm not sure who that character is there. And then we've got some tiger-looking woman as well. I'm not sure who those two characters are there. So let me know if you know who they are. Sorry for the weird cut, guys, but when I was editing, I forgot to mention something when looking at this picture. Also, we've got the sun, as you can see here, behind sort of the curvature of the Earth. And we've got the Marvel characters here. They're kind of looking at the sun as the sun's going down behind the Earth and darkness is about to descend upon the Earth. They know all the vampires are coming out and it looks like they're preparing for a war. Obviously, the sunlight is a major factor when it comes to vampires. The sun goes down and when the vampires come out. That's just something I wanted to mention that I forgot when I was making the video. But yeah, I mean, this image of the sun going behind the Earth, the darkness kind of descending on the Earth, and then them kind of preparing for the vampires to kind of come out at night. I thought that was a really cool concept for this image. And as I say, I forgot to mention it when making the video, but I just wanted to put that in there for you guys. Okay, so on to the next bunch of pictures. So we've got a scene happening in New York City by the look of it. Then we've got Scarlet Witch landing at the scene. And then we've got this huge kind of dark vortex cloud opening up. And it looks like there's a pair of legs here at the bottom. So someone's appearing from the portal out of the bottom. Or someone stood here causing the portal to go upwards. It's hard to tell from this image. But yeah, it looks really cool. Just seeing Scarlet Witch here. Looking up at this massive black kind of portal twister looking thing. And yeah, it looks like a really awesome scene. Then we got Thor here taking on a load of vampires. Vampire here grabbing him by the leg. That's pretty cool. Thor's just going crazy. Obviously using his hammer to beat the crap out of these vampires. Captain Marvel blasting them. That's pretty cool. T'Challa sticking one of them with a big spear. Blasting one of the vampires here. Yeah, I think this just looks really cool. Having all these kind of dark vampires all around these characters. And the characters just going crazy. Just destroying the vampires. Yeah. And then we got Vision blowing one of them up with his heat ray. Look at that. Absolutely just melted into shreds. Captain America smashed them apart with his shield. That would be epic. Just like cutting off limbs, cutting off heads with the shield. That would be a wicked scene to see in live action. And then we've got Wanda, obviously using her magic. She's like burning them. Yeah, that looks really cool. Yeah, I would just like, I'm just imagining what this would look like in live action. I think it would look so cool. But even in the comic book, guys, these scenes look amazing. I can't wait to read this issue. Comes out in May, the same month as my birthday as well, so I'm really looking forward to that. So, the synopsis here. The skies have gone dark. The sun is hiding its face from the carnage to come. The children of the night, the vampires, have risen from the dark and hidden places of the world as one to drown the Marvel Universe in blood. Earth's final night has fallen. Can even the heroes of the doomed world stem the tide of blood that is to come? Join the Avengers. We got Blade, Bloodline, Spider-Man, Hunter's Moon, Tigra, Doctor Strange, and Clear as the Dance of Death begins. Blood Hunt issue number 1 of 5 comes out on the 1st of May. So guys, we've still got a while to wait yet. We've still got another 5 months until this Blood Hunt comic book comes out. But it looks really fun, as I say. I love the look of this. I love the look at these images of just the Avenger characters just taking on these vampires. Looks really, really fun. Seeing what they're going to do, the amount of, carnage they're going to cause to these vampires. But there is a big bad behind the scene who's in charge of this vampire uprising. But who is it? Is it Dracula? Is it potentially, is it one of the Avenger characters who is actually secretly turned into a vampire, but they don't know who it is? I mean, there's plenty of sort of twists and turns that they could do with this. But as to where the vampire uprising is actually coming from and who's in charge of it, and that's going to be interesting to find out who the main big bad of the series is. But guys, we have another image as well that I want to quickly look at. It recently just came out today, some artwork. So let's quickly have a look at that. So here's the brand new cover art for the Blood Hunt series. Looks really cool. It says, watch your back, and then it's crossed out and it's got neck. You're definitely going to want to watch your neck when there's vampires running around, that's for sure. Maybe wear a turtleneck or something like that, or maybe wear a scarf so they can't get to your neck. But yeah, obviously we've got the Avenger characters here, which look awesome. We've got Captain America down at the bottom, Captain Marvel, we've got Wanda, Thor, we've got Moon Knight in there. I think that's Moon Knight, yeah. Doctor Strange, that Tigra, I think her name was. And then we've got Blade being the main sort of character. Everybody else is in the shadow of Blade. So the series is probably going to focus on Blade with the Avenger characters turning up. And I can't wait to see what Blade does and how he fits into the story and all the other Avenger characters. But this is going to be insane. I love the artwork. It looks great. As I say, the Blade movie coming out in the MCU with Mahershala Ali, this could potentially split off into Blood Hunt if the Blade movie is successful. You never know. They could be setting that up because vampires, you know, they're probably going to be a mainstay in the MCU once the Blade movie comes out. But yeah, this looks awesome. So Blood Hunt, who will bite it? We've got Jed McKay, Pepe Larraz, Marty Gracia. Sorry if I butchered those names. But yeah, this artwork looks fantastic. This is the kind of poster I would love to have, you know, in my room or in my office. It would look amazing. But yeah, guys, that's kind of where we are. So it's just a little video just talking about this Blood Hunt series that's coming out in May. Same month as my birthday, as I said. So I'm really excited for that. Might have to spend my birthday money on it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Marvel's Avengers taking on vampires and a vampire uprising with a mystery main bad behind the scenes. We don't know who that is yet, but we'll soon find out once we read the comics. So yeah, guys, jump into the comment section. Let me know what you think about this. Would you be excited to pick up this series called Blood Hunt, which comes out in May, with the Avengers fighting off a vampire uprising? I think it looks interesting. It looks insane. I can't wait to see it. And yeah, let me know what you think about it, guys. Jump into the comment section with your thoughts, comments, and opinions. As I say, I can't wait to read what you have to say. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.